Ho, ho, ho. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the Creative Shop Talk podcast. 'Tis the season to be jolly. How are you doing? How are you hanging in there? Is it busy yet? I know a lot of retailers are already reporting back that it's like getting crazy out there. So we are jumping into the big busy time. Q4, last couple of months, it's time. It's game on. And I wanted to come in today and share 3 simple success tips. I don't know if that's the right thing I want to call them, but 3 tips, 3 things that I really want you to focus on and think about as you're going through the next few weeks, because really there's not that much time, right? So it is things that I think that are going to help you maximize your sales and end your year a little bit happier. That's my goal, is to make sure that you're not working too hard, that you're not overdoing it, and that we're doing the right things and focusing on the right things. It's not just about being busy, right? So I've got 3 tips for you, 3 success tips for you. I also wanted to remind you before we jump into today's podcast, I'm so excited about this. We just announced and launched a new, calling it a marketing playbook, a monthly playbook inside our retailers inner circle. We've had a dashboard in there in the past. We've had where you keep your progress of your KPIs and your numbers and your results and how we're moving ahead. But we have added a marketing component to it, and I'm so excited about this. So we are helping our retailers inside our retailers inner circle, which is my private coaching group. It's a group coaching group. Does that make sense? My private group coaching inside the retailers inner circle. So it is a great place to help you stay focused with this playbook and inside the inner circle. We have marketing ideas. In the playbook, we're going to give you marketing ideas like what to send your email list. We're going to have a list of promotions. We did one in October. We're making it even better. Well, we made it better for November, and we're doing them in through. It was such a big hit with our retailers. So the new marketing playbook. If you are looking for support around your business, if you are looking just to take some ideas out of your brain, so you don't have to think of everything, and you're wondering, what do I send my list this month? How do I connect with them? What kind of promotions could I do? What should I be thinking about? This is also something that we have inside the playbook. It's what we should be focusing on, like what's coming up next. Sometimes we forget that maybe in September, we should be focusing on January clearance planning. I know we have a lot on our plates, but we're doing all that inside our monthly playbook, which you can get if you're a member inside the Retailers Inner Circle. And if you're a member of the Retailers Inner Circle and you didn't know, or you weren't paying attention, or you didn't read your emails, or you didn't see my shining face on there showing that, go grab yours today. You'll be so happy you did. We're getting lots of great reviews back. And we're just getting started. We have some other fun surprises coming in November and December for our members. So you also get, if you're a member of our Retailers Inner Circle, if you'd like to join us, if you're ready for that, access to our full resources and masterclass library. So we have everything from inventory to sales to marketing funnels to strategy calls, anything that you need, we have inside the Inner Circle. We have an entire module on understanding your numbers, which seems to be a very popular one, even though nobody really wants to do that, but that's what we're here for, right? You also get access to my complete course called Retail Made Simple. We used to sell it as a separate entity, but now lives inside our Retailers Inner Circle. We have gifted that to our Inner Circle members. So there's all kinds of fun things in there. So if you are ready to end 2023 happy, and with a bunch of amazing retailers, and you're ready to start 2024, if you want to start 2024 off feeling stronger and more confident with a coach by your side, because we go in and we do live calls and you can ask me anything. We do roundtables, we do Q&As, and we have all kinds of amazing experienced retailers inside there. So there's my pitch. I'm pitching you today because I really believe that it's super helpful. And again, I created the Inner Circle because it is the course I couldn't find. It is the community I couldn't find. It is the resources I couldn't find when I was trying to pull everything together and run my retail business, because running your retail business is lonely. I know that for a fact. And I was piecemealing all my coaching. I was paying a fortune and just trying to piecemeal all these pieces of coaching together. So again, I created the group that I couldn't find for myself. So the Retailers Inner Circle is there. And there's, of course, other ways that you can work with me. If you're not into group coaching, just reach out, send me an email, jump on my DMs and Instagram. You can find me, and you can find all the information out at wendybatten.com if you want to know how else you can work with me. So let's connect. I want to make sure that you end 2023 strong or happy. I keep saying happy. I'm going to do a whole podcast, I think, on that, how to end happy, because that's what it's all about, right? Why are we doing this? And how do we end happy and get the results that we want? I mean, this is what our business should be giving us: joy, should be giving us profit, should be giving us, we should be having fun. I know you're busy right now, but this is good. It should be good fun for us right now. And we also want to start 2024 feeling really good about our business. So there you go. Reach out if I can help you. Let's get into today's tips. And again, I'm going to give you 3 tips that I think are really successful. They're going to really help you maximize your sales. And I'm hoping it'll help you. I was going to say maximize your energy, but I'm not sure if it's maximizing your energy or just helping you calm down, helping you save your energy. So let's get to it. Running a retail business doesn't have to be so hard. Welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast, the go-to podcast for creative shop owners, studio owners, and independent retailers. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, retail business coach and mentor. Each week, I'll share simple, proven business strategies, inspiring stories from fellow retailers, and advice from industry experts. Together, we're going to work to find the success you want from your retail business, with more profits in your till and a little more joy in your life. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing happen with a lot of people right now. They're chasing sales. We are just dependent upon foot traffic and pushing more volume and more things and all of the, we just need to sell more things. And if you are a regular to this podcast, you will know that I'm about to say we have to stop chasing sales and we have to stop just chasing the top line. I know that's a number you're all measuring. It's a number to measure, but we cannot win if we're just moving things out. So today in the 3 success tips that I want to share with you, we're going to cover three different things that I really think will help you really maximize the customers coming in, maximize your profits, maximize your sanity, because that can be tested right about now, don't you think? And I really don't want you to burn out. And that's what happens if we are just chasing that top line and just moving items at all cost and just chasing. And I say chasing, but it's just like not paying attention to the foundational things in our numbers. So we want to be profitable. I want you to chase the money that's left over. I want you to chase, if you want to chase anything or you want to really dig into things, I really want you to pay attention to knowing your numbers right now and having a plan around that. There's only a few ways that we can make profit. I mean, at the end of the day, profit is what we want. We want to be able to pay our people, and be able to pay ourselves, pay our rent, employ more people, spend more money in our community. I mean, we want to be profitable at the end of the day, and that is the goal. And we also want to make sure that we have a plan in place for what's happening in the peaks and valley of our retail business. So maybe January is slow for you, or February, or whenever it's coming. Let's make sure we're not just raking in the cash now and not without a plan. So make sure we have a plan. So cash hides problems. I always say that. You've been hearing me say that on this podcast for a long time. Cash hides problems if you're not working underneath. Underneath meaning understanding the foundations and where is that money going? So the 3 ways that we all know that we can make more profit and we can keep more money in our pocket and pay for our rent and all of the things is increasing our sales. So yes, I'm telling you, we're going to increase our sales. We're going to decrease our cost, and that's the cost on products. We want to look at that. And we also want to make sure that we're maximizing all of our customers coming in, right? Like we want to make sure that we have a really good client base and we're paying attention to that. So let's have a look at the first success tip and the first area that I really think that we should pay attention to. And that is your team. And that might seem funny, but I really think it's time, like if you haven't done this, come back to your team right now and ask yourself what's motivating them. They're really important to you. So if you know your sales goals and you've done your math and you're doing the work, meaning you know what sales you need to make, you know your cost of goods, you know the numbers we need to make in order to have that profit, in order to have that balance that we need to carry us forward, in order to pay for our rent and have all that, have all of that in a good, healthy way. We need to know. So once we know our numbers, we need to know that our team is on board with those numbers as well. So we want to make sure that they are comfortable, that they're empowered, that they feel really part of the team. So if you haven't done your training, I know we're like in it now. I know you're in it now. So here's some things that I want that you can do this week. Really make sure that your team know the daily sales goals, maybe going forward through the rest of this season. How are you communicating to them? How are they getting excited about that? Do they know maybe what the average order value is? Are you gamifying it? We did an entire podcast on how to get your team sort of motivated, and we'll link that in the show notes. We really want to make sure that we're communicating well right now, and it's not all in our head and it's not all on our shoulders, and that we're really, again, I keep using the word empowering our staff. This is a big one right now. This is a really good time to make sure that you have a team meeting, or if you have a team huddle, as we call it. And I know we've talked about team huddles before, but this is where we want to make sure that everybody on the floor and everybody behind the cash and everybody in the warehouse and everybody everywhere is on board and knows the game plan, knows what we're doing. So how are you motivating them? So this is also a great time for us to demonstrate our leadership. It's a great time for us to make sure that we're not cranky and crabby. And, this comes with the territory, I know. So how are you demonstrating leadership in this area? Are there rewards maybe? And I hear this coming through the lines. I hear people saying, well, I pay them and this is their job. But we all know those days are gone. We have to, and I don't mean those days are gone. They probably never should have been there. We need people around us that are on our mission. Like they're not just there to work. They're there to be part of our shop. They are representing us when we are not there. So having well-trained staff that are on board, understand the mission, understand the culture, and culture, as I always say, culture is this is how we do things around here. So making sure they're all on board. So are you gamifying or giving them a little, maybe if we reach this goal, we're going to go out for dinner, or I'm going to buy, I don't know, we're going to reward them. We're all going to have a pizza party, or I'm going to give everybody a Starbucks coupon, or whatever that might be that motivates your people. And again, we have a whole podcast on how to motivate your staff this time of the year. But really understanding and making sure, check in with yourself, check in with them right now. The other thing, and the extra things that I'd love for you to do this week as well, make sure that you are reviewing and having conversations with your staff around how to sell. And that could be as simple as understanding what to say, what not to say to customers. And again, we'll link the podcast. We have a whole podcast on how to greet a client. Things like, the bad words. I always say, never say the bad words. And it's not swear words. It's, how can I help you? Or can I help you? People are always going to say no. Things we never say, things we should be saying. So some of the things we should be saying this time of the year, when people walk in the shop, they are there to buy. There's no reason, people are not usually browsing this time of the year. We all know that. They're coming in with a purpose. So who are you buying for? How can I help you? Making sure that your staff know different gift ideas for different, if they come in and say, yes, I'm buying for men, or I'm buying for a grandmother, or I'm buying for a teacher's gift, or whatever. Make sure you have instant and automatic suggestions in different price ranges. This is something we should be training with our staff. So the magic words as well too, always, this is the magic word. If you're listening, write this down. Is there anyone else I can help you, or you have to buy for? Is there anyone else you have to buy for? Those are magic words this time of the year, because it sparks something in us when we're shoppers to make sure, well, yeah, actually I do. I have teacher's gifts and I have a mother-in-law I have to buy for. Can you help me out there? So make sure your staff feel confident in answering all of those things. practice with them. I always say practice with your team. It's not role playing. I mean, you can role play too, but I know y'all rolling your eyeballs about role playing, but brainstorm. Let's call it brainstorm versus role playing. Cross-selling. When people buy this, suggestive selling, sell that. Again, for different themes. Like when people come in and they're buying one paintbrush, let's show them, some of the things that go with it that would be great gift ideas to go with somebody who is a painter, or somebody who is into crocheting, or somebody who is into, whatever that thing is. So make sure that your team are really comfortable selling in that way. The other thing that I feel like if you listen to the podcast a lot, you've heard me say this before, but I'm bringing it back up. Make sure your team are well trained in the products coming in. So as new products come in, especially this time of the year, as new products coming back on the floor, make sure that they know what it is, especially, if they've been off shift for a couple of days and something came in and they're like, oh, I didn't know we had this green shirt, this, green stuff come in, or whatever it is. So make sure that your staff are aware of new things. Have some form of communication. It could be a Facebook group. It could be a Slack channel. It could just be, we have a little meeting every morning and we discuss what's new, or we have it in our communications binder at the front counter. Have a way so that people know what's new, what's coming in, so that they're not caught off guard, and so that they are really comfortable in selling that product. So, and they understand it. So if you get a new maker, or you get some new earrings in from a maker, make sure that they know about that maker and what makes these special, and so that they can say things like, have you seen these earrings? These are gorgeous. They're made by a local lady and she rescues puppies. I don't know, whatever the story is behind the maker. Let's make sure that our staff are empowered. And this is something I see missing a lot. We're all guilty of it. Hands up. Used to be super guilty of this in my shop. So let's make sure we're not guilty of it. So keep your people updated. Also make sure everybody on your team, especially if you have part-timers or, people who are maybe more casual this time of the year, which happens, make sure that they are super educated on all your policies, your refund policies, your, whatever policies, your layaway policies, your, if we have a sale this week and next week it's on, or you buy it this week and next week you come in and it's on sale, and all of those questions that we all know we get asked, make sure that they're super aware of how to answer those. So check in with your staff as well. No, I know you're busy. I know they're busy, but this is a great time to just ask them how they're doing. And again, if there's, because everybody's lifing right now, everybody's busy. They're busy as well as you. So again, making sure that we're checking in with those employees, because they are, this is where our hospitality shines. It's our people serving our people. So this is really important. This is going to help you maximize your sales. This is going to help you end 2023 happy. If you have happy customers and you have happy team and everybody's feeling fine and everybody's having a good time, this is where the magic happens. This is what we're in business for. And people are buying when they're happy, and we're not all running around with our head cut off, all of that stuff. So I could go on and on about our team, but I just wanted to bring that up, making sure that we are, really empowering them, really making sure that they feel good and that they're comfortable selling. And on that note, sometimes we have people who maybe have been in our shop for a long time. I need to do a whole podcast on this, but maybe you have somebody who's been there a long time and you don't feel comfortable teaching them how to sell. Like, Mary's been here for 30 years. She knows how to sell. But maybe it's time that we have like a conversation. If you're not having those conversations now, regroup, have a little huddle, have a little meeting, have a little coffee chat, whatever it is you need to do. And bring these things up. Blame me if you want. I have tons of private clients and inner circle members and mastermind members that say, well, my coach said that I should do this, so blame me. Just say, well, I heard on a podcast that we should have this conversation. So go ahead. You have my permission to blame me on anything. And I'm laughing because I bet you some of my clients are laughing right now because I have been used many times as that person. Okay, let's move on. Number 2. Number two. So number one is making sure our team are really healthy and strong and happy. Number two, for the love, please listen to this. Listen to me. I want to make sure that we are not doing these random acts of sales and slashing sales and promotions and whole store markdowns and last minute sales because, well, it's been really quiet this week, so we should, it wasn't as busy as I thought. I'm not where I wanted to be, so I'm going to have this sale. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay, we need to go back to remembering our goals and focusing on profit. And okay, the biggest thing here is that we want to make sure that we're keeping things simple. So when people come in, as we mentioned earlier, they're coming in to buy. They don't need you to have everything off 20% off the whole store. You can't afford that most of the time. Most of you can't afford 20% off as your cost of goods. That's cutting right into your margins. That's 20% that you don't have to play with. You rather have that in your pocket. So instead, let's not confuse our customers by having these random sales. Let's not confuse our team by having these random last minute sales. Let's not confuse our bottom line, making it harder for us to make our deadlines and pay our rent and pay our staff and pay ourselves our paychecks. Let's make sure that we are keeping things super simple. We're having promotions. If you feel the need that you want to have a sale or an event, keep it simple, as we always say, and stop the random acts. Plan it out, plan ahead, do other things to show value. There's lots of things that we can do to show value. We can bundle things up. We could feature one item. We can bundle up things. We could do gift boxes. We could do a collection maybe. There's all kinds of things we can do that would still maybe be enticing to get people in. And we can market it and we can promote it and we can do the thing and still make money. So, some of the promotions that you might want to do if you have a plan, like plan it now for the whole, like right through to the end of the year. Maybe it's a buy one, get one, or maybe it's a percentage off one item. And again, gift boxes, bundling, and y'all know I talk about bundling a lot. So bundling and, how we can make bundles work. And that's, pairing up things or theming things and all of that. So thinking through that now and not just jumping all over the place. And again, random acts of sales, whole store sales are probably like I want to cry for you if you're doing that. So please don't do that. So if you are doing that, do it with a plan. If you're trying to move your inventory, if you're closed seasonally, I'm not saying not to do that, but do it with knowing intentionally what you're doing. Do it, plan it ahead of time, make sure everybody knows, make sure we know what's happening. But we really want to remove all of this friction from our brains. So from us, remove friction from, our clients being confused, like, coming in to buy things one day and they're this price, one day they're that price. This is just silly and it's not good retail management. So stop with confusing promotions. I want you to really be intentional about the promotions that you're doing moving forward. And don't panic if things are not selling or it's a slow day. Do something else, trigger something else, like go live on Facebook or do something that's worked in the past. Don't just sit in an idle moment and don't panic. If you have a plan, you'll be fine. If you have a plan and you're doing the marketing and you're putting strategy behind your marketing, you'll be fine. Knowing your numbers is the key. This is where we're not chasing sales. This is where we're not just like moving more product and making more money. Again, cash hides problems. If you make a bunch of cash today, woohoo, we're happy. We put the store on 50% off. Everybody came. We made a lot of money. Well, that's not going to help you much when all that you're left with is, a tiny little bit of the profit from each one of those to pay your rent, pay your staff, pay yourself, pay all the things that we got to pay for. It's not smart business. And I want you to be a smart retail business owner. So I want you to stop random acts of sales and I want you to think about your promotions before you do them. So that's number 2. Number 3, I know we're running long here today. I try to keep them shorter, but I get excited. So number 3, this is a big one and I really want you to pay attention. Are you listening? Come back to me if you left when I was talking about money. So come on back. This is really important. This is such a wonderful time of the year to meet new people, meet new customers, and to optimize with a really great first impression. So I want you to think about all the new people who are giving you a go. They're giving you a go because maybe they've been hearing about you. They've been lurking around. They've heard about you. Or maybe they're coming in with their sister for the first time. Or maybe their friend recommended you. This is where we need to shine. This is where we win and excel at retail. This is where, again, going back to your staff and having your numbers in order, people are coming in to buy, and this is a great time of the year. And if you think about your shopping habits, if you have time to shop, you probably are trying new things. I try new shops. I dabble into different shops that I haven't been into. I go to different markets. I do different things. So we want to make and win that customer over and think about every new customer and the lifetime value of that customer. So what is the lifetime value of your customer? And if you go in your POS system, you'll be able to see, and again, a whole other podcast, but this is a chance to wow and delight them. This is a chance to turn their first experience with you into an amazing experience. This is a chance for you to, introduce them to your best sellers. If they come in, if somebody tells you this is the first time they've been in your shop, there should be a whole singing angels happening in our heads. That was a bit descriptive maybe, but this is the time to come around the counter and say, well, thank you for coming in, and whatever it is you need to do, but introduce yourself maybe, or take a moment out of your day to show them around your shop. Again, obviously if you can, and all of these things, but just think of how cool that would be. What a great first impression, right? Like, wow, they really care. Tell them about your, have a sort of, I don't want to say speech because I don't like scripted. I'm not a fan of scripted or prescriptive language, specifically sound like robotic if we have to say these words. But, if we have a plan and everybody on board knows that we highly value, again, hospitality is there again. We highly value new people. I mean, we love our regulars and we value them, but what can we do special for those new people? What are the little extra things? Maybe you have a card underneath the counter that you keep, that you hand out, thank you for coming in. Like, I'd be so impressed if somebody gave me one card that said, thank you for finding us, enjoying. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any problems, here's the manager's name. Please contact us. Here's her email, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, might be kind of impressive. Like, what is the next level thing that you can do? You do you think about your staff, you think about yourself, but, maybe it's just really making sure, and this is something that we all should be checking in on ourselves a little bit right now. Sorry, not sorry. But we get really frenzied this time of the year, and people come in and we might get a little short, we might be really busy, and the shop might be a little bit more cluttered than it usually is, and take a breath. Remember that everybody coming in is trying to experience something, and they're probably all frenzied and chaotic and yucky and, all the things, and their kids have soccer practice and they're trying to come in and get some gifts in between, and, all the life is lifing. So their life is lifing, and we need to be the shops that have that hospitality and that place that they feel like, I love it in here. I just love this shop. So what does that mean? What does that look like for you? Does it mean we all have to take a break? Does it mean we have to demonstrate our leadership again and remind ourselves that we cannot be running around like a chicken with our head cut off? This is just food for thought. I want you to plant that in your seed, but I want you to really value new customers this year. Of course, I'm not taking away from your existing clients, but this would be a 3-hour podcast if we talked about all of the things. But those were the 3 things that I really wanted to make sure that we talked about today, and that you take away, and that you go with your week this week. These are all things that are doable this week. I really think it's important to talk to your team and make sure everybody's on board and people are feeling good about selling, and just refreshing and revisiting all of that. I think it's really important for us to remind ourselves when we're tempted to do these all sales or whatever it is. Nope, we don't do that around here. We plan ahead. Even if you're not planning ahead, it's like, what can we do instead? What can we do that's smart? What can we do that's a really smart business move right now in our events? How can we keep it simple? How can we keep it simple for everybody? How can we not be reactive, but be proactive? And number 3, how can we, when people are test driving us and they're coming in, for the first time, how can we really be so impressive with our new customers' first impression of our business, and have that customer and think of that customer and the lifetime value, and have them turn into one of these raving fans that we all want. So that's it. I hope that's been helpful. I am sending you all the love. I know it's busy this time of the year. I hope you're really busy. I hope you're happy busy. I hope it's good busy. I hope that your team is busy and that you're smiling right now, and that, things are good and things are feeling really good as we're going into the end here. Think of your customers. And again, we give great big love out to them. So keeping hospitality as your guiding light, and really paying attention to your numbers. And I know I keep talking about numbers, but that's what's going to help you thrive. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of your day. If you're ready and wanting to find out any more information about the Retailer's Inner Circle or my other programs, please reach out. I'm very easy to get a hold of. So reach out. You can find the Inner Circle information at wendybatten.com/join, or just jump over to my website. You'll see how to get a hold of me, or on Instagram. I promise you, if you jump into the Inner Circle, you will not be sorry. We have a great group of people in there, and we have the doors open right now for new members to come in and just end the year smart, happy people, smart, happy retailers. That's my goal. Smart, happy retailers. There we go. Anyhow, have a fabulous rest of the day. We will see you back here next week for the next episode. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so glad that you were here to join us this week, and I hope you found value in what we're sharing here. I want to remind you that our website has all of the show notes. You can find it at wendybatten.com/podcast. Everything that you need to hear about today's podcast is there. Also an opportunity if you need to reach out to me. If I can support you in any way whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a review, subscribe if you can, and never miss an episode. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thanks, my friend. Have a great week.